I kept waking up with the same suffocating thought. Someone was in the room with me. Not a sound, not a shadow, but the undeniable pressure of being watched. The Airbnb was quiet, tucked in a sleepy neighborhood where the streetlights barely worked. The house itself was clean enough, but sterile in a way that felt unsettling, like it was staged for photographs rather than living. White walls, minimal furniture, no personal touches except for one detail. A plain black wall clock hung directly across from the bed. The first night, I barely noticed it. The ticking was faint, steady, comforting, even. But on the second night, I woke to it. Not the sound exactly, but the feeling. My eyes shot open at 3 a.m., and the clock was the first thing I saw. Big black, its hands frozen for just a moment before resuming their slow sweep forward. I told myself I imagined it. Just a dream bleeding into reality. By the third night, the unease was worse. Every time I stirred awake, I found myself staring at that clock. The way it seemed angled toward me. The way its blank face reflected just enough light to catch the corner of my vision. That night, I swore I saw a flicker. A faint glimmer, no bigger than a pinprick, pulsing once in the dark before vanishing. I sat up in bed, heart racing, but the room was still. No sound except the low hum of the heater. I forced myself back to sleep, but the thought lingered. The next morning, I noticed something else. A faint red mark on the dresser below the clock, as though light had reflected off the wall during the night. My stomach sank, but I brushed it off. I didn't want to think about it. On the fourth night, it all came together. I woke again, disoriented, the weight of unseen eyes pinning me down. The room was silent, but colder than before. And that faint flicker was there again, steady this time, not fading. A tiny red pulse coming from the clock. I stared at it for a long time before climbing out of bed. My legs felt like lead, every instinct screaming at me to leave it alone. But I couldn't. With shaking hands, I pulled the clock down from the wall. It was light, too light. I turned it over and my blood ran cold. Tucked inside the frame was a small black lens, no bigger than the nail of my thumb, and just beside it, a blinking red light. A camera. My reflection stared back at me in the lens, pale and wide-eyed. The realization made my stomach twist so violently I nearly dropped the thing. Someone had been watching me. The bed, the bathroom door, every private moment. I lowered the clock slowly, terrified that whoever was on the other end could see me realizing what I'd found. My mind spun. How long had it been there? How many nights? How many other guests I didn't pack? I didn't even put my shoes on. I grabbed my phone, my wallet, and bolted out the door into the freezing night air. When I looked back, the upstairs light turned on, the bedroom light, the room I had just left. Someone was in there. I couldn't wait to see who. The next morning, I called the platform to report it. They sounded calm, too calm. "We'll investigate," they said, their voices flat, rehearsed. A week later, the listing disappeared. But I never got a follow-up, and even now, in my own home, I can't shake it. Sometimes, when I'm lying in bed, I wake up to that same heavy feeling, that pressure of unseen eyes. And every so often, in the dark corner of my room, I swear I see it again, that tiny red blink. Drop a comment and let me know if you liked the story. For more content, like and subscribe. See you at the next campfire.